Should you back A.I.Pokalypse? Yes. Am I backing it? No, but I'll tell you why in a second, because my name is Sam, this is Should You Back It, and I'm here to help you crowdfund with confidence. A.I.Pokalypse is an auto-battler card game for up to 8 players that'll take anywhere between 20 to 50 minutes to play, and whose current core pledge will set you back €27 or about £24 in order to get your hands on the core game with an estimated delivery time of October of 2024. Each round you're going to be drawing 6 cards from the character deck. Now there is a ton of variety in these cards. I believe there's up to about 30 different factions in the game, and these cards will all have different abilities that will come into play when you activate them or when you discard them, for example. You'll then decide to play cards or discard them, and if you play them, you'll be playing them into one of your lanes. But really though, the big mechanic that is built with this game is the auto-battler mechanic, which comes into play after the recruitment phase and in the battle phase. In essence, you and your opponents will draw some cards and attempt to combine cards whose colours match in order to get the highest strength and defeat your opponent. It's a very simplified explanation of how the battler works. These videos are not so much about the nitty-gritty of the mechanics. Instead, if you want a really good explanation and rundown of the gameplay, you can check out Shelf Clutter's video, which I'll link down below, and hopefully remember to put a card up in the top right of the screen to where you can go and check it out. With that said, what these videos are about is assessing risks on these projects and whether you should back them. You see, whenever we back something on Kickstarter or any crowdfunding platform, it's always important to do some research on the company to see how their past projects went, see how they handled everything, and just to get a sense of what our experience could be as a backer. This is Owly Games' first Kickstarter campaign. It's their first game in general, and as such, we don't have a track record of releases to draw upon in order to figure out whether this is a safe bet, so to speak. What we can see is that a good degree of planning and preparation has been put into the campaign itself. They're using a pledge manager for shipping, which shows some understanding on how unreliable shipping quotes can be at the moment, and they seem to have quite a quick, if perhaps a little tight, deadline in order to turn around the game and fulfill it. They've mentioned that they're working with partners in Europe where the game will be manufactured, and that'll cut down on some of the added risks of getting games from China to fulfillment centers with ships crashing into things and getting stuck, which we've seen happening yet again this year. The one worry I do have around this campaign solely is their turnaround time. With a fulfillment date of October, the game would need to be in a state where it's simply ready to print and ship, or at least be very close to. Now, from what I've seen, and the fact I have a review copy here in the house, it seems like they are in that position. However, they've been adding new content via stretch goals, like new cards and a new faction. Now, if these stretch goals components haven't been fully playtested, my assumption is that that should add some time in fulfillment if they can't complete it by their scheduled completion time in May. It's an incredibly tiny problem for me to have, and it's incredibly normal for campaigns to have a delay, so with all of that said, I'd give this project an amber rating. We always take on some form of risk with a first-time creator and on crowdfunding in general, but Owly Games seems to have put enough time and effort into this project in order to instill a sense of confidence that we'll receive it and in good time. So why am I not backing it if everything seems fine? Well, honestly, this is just a game type that would not be my normal go-to. If somebody brought this to game night, I'd give it a try, but for those of you who have been around the channel for a while or who have watched the video I did a while back where I've gone through all the games I've backed before, you'll know that this would sit outside of the norm for me. I think the theme is really cool. I love the design work that's been put into it, but mechanically it just doesn't resonate with me. And that's totally okay. It doesn't mean that the game is bad or that it's not good for you. We've all got to check and see what games we play regularly, what the games we enjoy, the themes and mechanics we enjoy, and make decisions based on that. As always though, this is just my recommendation, but hopefully you feel a bit more informed. If you have found it helpful, I'd love if you could subscribe. I'm a new channel trying to cover the games I think you're interested in, and your support really does help.